And we do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Some technical difficulties here, but we are still joining you live here from Glenbard East High School here in South Lombard. Now, again, this is a winner-go-home situation for both teams. The winner of this will play Geneva High School again at Glenbard East on Friday. So we'll see what exactly the result is here, but Christian, this Dukes team has been on a bit of a bounce back, you could say.
Yeah, for sure, Luca. They have definitely been playing better since, bringing up a player like Graham Reedy and just gelling a little more. Although, as I mentioned earlier, Quinn Stratton being out is definitely going to hold them down a little bit. But on the coverage you missed on number 11 in West Chicago, Kung Thong had 3 shots on goal within 2 minutes. Literally right after the ball was kicked, the Chicago Wildcats, they made a run all the way down the field, a great run, great ball movement, and eventually led to 2 missed shots in a row, but great job by Choi making those saves, and that was kind of the key. But since then, it's been pretty much all West Chicago still really holding the ball quite a bit here early.
Yeah, West Chicago keeping the ball in their backfield still. They were off to a very fast pace. Now they're seeming to try and go a bit slower here, but they're on the attack here, breaking away past Reedy. They have it at the 30-yard line, going further inside here. Short pass there off the foot of Cuckoo. And it is bounced back into Glenbard West backfield. 33 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. Still a scoreless game. We apologize to you for not being able to provide you a scoreboard here either. But we will regularly provide you with score updates and time updates. Here's a breakaway. Cuckoo on the break. Could this be another shot for him? He breaks past, and it's off the hands of Ochoa. Another deflection there for Ochoa.
Yeah, Cuckoo's really been dominant here early. That's already his 4th shot on goal now, and Ochoa has just been fantastic in the net with some early saves, but the West Chicago Wildcats have done a great job of those little chip shots, passes that have led to great opportunities, and then you see another one of them there. Dukes are going to have to make adjustments because that's going to be there all night if you're the Wildcats.
York to throw in here. This is D'Amelia on a fast break here. He gets stopped, though. Gonna have to take this one back out. Can't in time, though. Goes right out. West Chicago to throw in. It's going to be batted around at the 50-yard line back to the Dukes. Off the head of Steen. Looks like Oliver Connor was just not able to keep it in there.
Yeah, Luca, York actually played the West Chicago Wildcats earlier this season, ended up losing. It was a tight match till the end of the second half where West Chicago put 2 in the back of the net and were able to pull away. But, York has, as I mentioned, were not too great at the beginning of the season. They've gotten a lot better. They've had a lot of issues with scoring points this year. Their defense has held a lot of teams to very low scoring, losing a lot of 0-1 games, 0-2, not letting many goals up, but the offense has really been the mystery this year. And it seemed to have been being solved over the past few games, but tonight's definitely going to be a big challenge, losing one of your stars and then, bringing up some new guys and then playing one of the better teams in this bracket, many would argue.
Shot attempt there by Joby is off and short, so it'll be picked up by the Wildcats goalie. Ball staying in the backfield. West Chicago's going to try and go far here. Pass intended for Cuckoo is going to Steen instead. Now down low to Barriga. Barriga kicks that one out, intended for Joby there. Bowie tracking down the ball on the Duke side. And will roll right out. West Chicago to throw in, tracked down by Reedy there instead, though. And a shot on goal is way off.
Yeah, Luca, if the Wildcats continue to have a ton of shots on goal, just like they are right now throughout the rest of this game, eventually one will fall. York has got to do a better job of hanging onto the ball and not making little errors like you saw there. They just gave it right back to the offense with an easy setup for a goal. Surprisingly, they did not capitalize off of it. But if this continues to be the case, this is going to end up being a lot bigger blowout than what most people had expected. The Dukes are going to have to do a better job of taking care of the ball. That's the bottom line.
Great hustle there by DeMaili, but he is not able to get to the ball in time to go once again to the Wildcats goalie. Still 0-0 here. Less than 30 minutes to go. O'Connor playing some tight defense here. Ball being tracked way back by Steen. He's able to get it. Taps it right out of bounds, so it'll stay with West Chicago on the Duke's side of the field. West Chicago on the attack again. Are they able to keep the ball in bounds, though? No, they are not. So it'll go the Duke's way now. Still in their territory, though.
Now being pulled is Graham Reedy. It looks like... Who is that going to check in? It's going to be... We got to wait for the jersey turn.
Patrick Nazar for the Dukes checking in. Patrick Nazar, the sophomore.
Must be pulled up for playoffs.
Yeah, lots of call-ups, across all classes that have been brought up for playoffs. Very common, of course.
In every sport.
In every sport. Nazar gives this one to O'Connor. Bad pass, though, so it's intercepted by West Chicago. Cuckoo with it. Taken away by Barriga.
Wow, Cuckoo's very aggressive here, Luca. He plays with a lot of grit, as we've seen earlier. He's very quick, explosive player, if you will.
And there he's able to force a turnover. He was just posting up on Carter there, and it is not able to stay in bounds there for Nazar. So West Chicago will throw it again to Cuckoo. It looks like Will Carter will be sizing up Cuckoo. That'll be an interesting matchup, to say the least. Will Carter, an outstanding defender.
Yeah, he really is, Luca. He uses his body so well. He's got some great length to him. So on defense, it's really hard for people to get by him. He's just very coordinated and very aggressive, too. So definitely a matchup to keep your eye on, as Luca highlighted.
Wildcats to attack. And it bounces right out of bounds. No good on the shot attempt there. But they will have another opportunity here on a corner kick.
Yeah, possession being dominated by the Wildcats for sure here early. Hasn't been very dominant in the first 14 minutes for the York Dukes, but they have been hanging around.
Great kick there, but it is off the head of Nazar. And it's just going to roll out of bounds. It's going to be York's ball. Duke's got to generate some sort of momentum here. DeMaili fighting to keep the ball in bounds. He can't, though. West Chicago to take it the other way.
They're playing quick, man. They just want to get that throwing in and just keep going. Kind of describes their play style, I'd say. Every time York seems to get the ball, they're just trying to get back quick and go score. That's their mentality, it seems like, here. Definitely a lot different than the York's play style. I'd say York likes to take their time a lot more.
Yeah, and York's being exposed for that right now. I mean, it's been just a change in pace for them that they are not adapted to yet. We'll see if they can grasp onto that later on in the game, but as of now, it looks like a very big miscommunication there. Joby takes the ball away, though. He gives it to Demili. Demili's not able to hold there.
Yeah, not the best touch from Demili there. Not sure what he was going for. Just could have been a mishit, but I mean, talk about quick. It seems one little turnover can just get York every time. It seems like a scoring opportunity just opens up for the Wildcats every time that there's the tiniest little mistake made by the Dukes. Oh, my goodness.
Long attempt there, and it is through the uprights.
Luca, have you ever seen the field goal post turn the other way for a soccer game?
You know, originally I thought that was only a few school thing, but I did recently find out that York's field goal posts can do the same thing. They can be turned on any source of angle you would like. They are, in fact, turned around during soccer games sometimes, and I did not realize that until last spring.
I just realized it right now. Wow.
And here's a slide and a goal there for West Chicago. Diego Choi not able to hold on there. And there they go, attacking early. Still with 23 minutes remaining here.
Yeah, Luca, it was bound to happen. Great ball from the offense. He was able to put himself in a great position and a great touch. Ochoa just a little too late. And that's what West Chicago is all about right there. They're showing why they're one of the better teams in this bracket. Already off to a very early start.
And that is Kung Thong on the goal there. Impressive there. He was found open by his teammate and able just to drift the ball right into the goal. So now the Dukes will need to answer here. It'll be Demili set to kick.
23 minutes remaining here. Steen's going to take it, but Steen's also got some great heights on Luca. A lot of bigger guys for York. They are a little undersized compared to a lot of other teams, but they still do have a few bigger players with great length to them. And they're going to need to use that length to play against this pretty undersized, I'd say, West Chicago team as well, except for their forward and Cuckoo, who's already shown why his size has been so valuable to him.
So now West Chicago being guarded much more tightly here. Duke's on a different kind of defense here, kind of trapping, if anything.
Yeah, switching it up a little bit, making some adjustments. You like to see that, though, after a goal. You know, got to switch things up. You can't just stick with the original game plan, especially with the way this game's been going so far.
Duke's set to kick it in here. Miranda will instead just throw it right in. Miranda on the header. Barriga on the header. West Chicago finally able to bring the ball to the ground. West Chicago just playing keep away here around midfield, trying to get inside. Picked up by Steen, though. Steen tried to give that one around. But not in time, though. West Chicago trying to get something going here. Kicks it behind. Steen picks it back up. He's not able to hold it, though. Now here goes West Chicago in the attack. Nope, taken up by Steen.
Great defense by Steen there. Just poking the ball out of bounds. That's the right thing to do. Force the corner. Never want to be in your own box at the corner, but it's better than a shot and goal attempt for sure.
So now a corner kick opportunity here for West Chicago. We'll see what they can get brewing here. Kick just off the wrong end of the foot, and that is a goal and a half right there.
What a banger there, and he was just shooting off the rebound, hits it with an absolute strike. That ball was an absolute dart, and Ochoa just not able to get up there in time, and not sure anyone could get up there in time with the way that ball was moving.
That was a goal there for Pedro Nicosi Rios. Senior defenseman there, wow.
And the West Chicago fans are making some noise.
The West Chicago fans are loving it if you can hear those vibrations up from the booth. And it is already a 2-0 ball game, and we are not even 20 minutes through the first half.
And guess what? They got the ball back again.
Steen able to poke it away that time, though. So now the Dukes are going to have to try and at least get it past midfield.
You know, York has a really good reputation in this IHSA playoff over the past few years. You know, winning it 3 years ago, the whole thing, and then going to the Final Four the past two, and then last year, you know, just not the best year, but I believe they actually went to the Final 8. So definitely playing with a little bit of a, how would I say this? Just like, they're very well known in the playoffs, and I'm sure West Chicago is trying to come in here and take that honor off their shoulders and try to prove that they're the better team. Even though York's not having the best season this year, they're still known to be a very talented soccer team, and just, you know, a lot of fame around them as of recently.
That one presumed to be out of bounds on West Chicago, so the Dukes are going to take it the other way again. And that one off the head of a Wildcat. West Chicago on the attack again. They got the steal. They're on York's side of the field now. Kicks it back behind midfield. D'Amelio on a good defensive stop there. And that one will just roll out of bounds. Last touch by West Chicago.
The scoreboard says 12-0 over there, Luca. Hopefully we're not losing by that much by the end of this one. Does not say 2-0.
Hopefully not. Least of all, get, you know, we've seen this a few times. Mercy ruled in the first half. I mean, you want to maintain some kind of ball game here going into the second half. And
what is the mercy rule?
I'm not completely sure. I have seen mercy rules.
Zach Silkaitis, our soccer goalie here for York, saying it's 8.
Yeah, I was about to say the two times I've seen mercy rules were 8-0.
In the first half?
In the first half, yes.
That is ridiculous.
Now, West Chicago not on pace for this, but, you know, if the Dukes really want to force a second half here, they need to play some tougher defense and also control the ball there. Bowie not able to control it there, so he just had to kick it out of bounds instead.
Yeah, Bowie let the ball go over his head and then just chose to hit it out of bounds rather than going for the player. Might have been the right call, though, because if that he tended to miss-hit that pass, it could have led to a big defensive breakdown and a potential another goal for the Wildcats. Even with the Wildcats' best scorer, in my opinion, out in Cuckoo, they are still finding the ways to get the ball into the scoring zone, and that shows you the depth that they have on this team.
Kick here by West Chicago is no good. Followed up, and again, no good. Ochoa took a shot to the face there from a Wildcat. He seems to be okay. Official coming to check on him.
Yeah, he seems to be all right. And Ochoa is one of those guys, you know, he's a 4-year varsity player. Didn't start till he was a sophomore, but he has been on this varsity team for a while and has a good relationship with Coach Stopka. Coach Stopka always raves about how he's like usually the heart and soul of this team. He's the team captain alongside with Oliver Connor, but he's just been fantastic for this program. And whether or not the Dukes go with a win or a loss tonight, he is definitely going to go down as one of the better goalkeepers in the York players of all time, I'd say. With he's always there, making saves, keeping his team in games, even when they're not playing that great on offense. And this year, he's really stepped it up.
Absolutely, the center of this team completely. He has been able to lead them so well. And we'll see how far he can lead them through the playoffs there. That ball goes out of the stadium there on a deflection there by the Dukes. So West Chicago will throw in here. Now trapped in the corner by two Dukes. Demille takes it away. Carter's just going to kick this one upfield.
Great pass by Carter. And led to a straight turnover, so another little mistake there.
West Chicago. Ooh, that ball there had some...
That was a bender.
Serious bend on it. Yeah, Ochoa able to get a hand on it, but man, oh man, that could have been trouble indeed.
Absolutely, Luca. It looked like it was going to keep curving, but Ochoa, of course, he's there to save it. As per usual, as I'd like to say. He's been good with probably 7 or 8 saves, I'd say. So he's 7 of 9 tonight. Right now.
Corner kick here from West Chicago, and it is just over the goal. And that'll be another no-good shot attempt there for the Wildcats.
Here's a nice little run.
Duke's trying to get something going here. Finally on Wildcats
Too
territory, and this one's going to be taken away by West Chicago. Joby trying to back down though, and he gets it away. Now the Dukes really have to get something going here. Here's Nazar. He gives it into the backfield to Bowie, and Bowie just not able to find Nazar again on the connection. Ochoa able to boot this one way up and away. There's a leg.
Right back to Connor, so great job by Ochoa, just
resetting the offense completely.
Absolutely. See if we can get a corner here. Chicago somehow slipped it in there at the little hole.
Bowie taking that one away. Gives it to Steen. Steen not able to handle, though.
Bowie's had a hard time tonight with a lot of little passes, but West Chicago's defense is just all over it. Their attacks are just ready for any little mistake, and it's a hard time getting rid of the ball before it's a little too late, as the whole York team is, I should say. They're not used to this defense, as Luca mentioned earlier. They're used to the slow kind of soccer, not this really fast-paced team. And I think that was West Chicago's game plan coming in here. Instead of playing York's little slow game, they want to speed them up and get them uncomfortable, and they've done exactly that so far.
13 and a half minutes to go here. Still a 2-0 ball game in the first half. West Chicago with a commanding lead. Steen heads that one up to Reedy. Take it away again by West Chicago. West Chicago on a break here. They have another scoring opportunity. It's broken away by Bowie and sent away. Now here come the Dukes trying to attack here. Joby turns around.
Great ball, but better defense as it was tapped away, preventing the little run that York tried to make there. They're going to bring pressure with Joby here and try to see if they can get it back really quick.
West Chicago trying to attack here. Bowie legs that one away, but West Chicago is still in scoring position. Now Steen trying to kick this one away. Reedy following up there. Nazar gets tripped there after his kick. Seems to be okay. Joby taking a break here to tie his shoes. 12 minutes left here in the first half.
Here's Reedy. Tries to get it up the middle, and now he's going to bring it back over. West Chicago will retain possession. Working on Connor. Now it's a little pass that's going to go off of Miranda. Cameron Coates getting loose on the sideline.
Yeah,
looks like he's going to come sub in.
Looks like he's really ready to check in there.
So 11 minutes and 10 seconds remain here. Scores 2-0, and the Wildcats have just been dominating early. Still subbed out as Cuckoo, who was the main factor in those first few minutes. Great job by Miranda stealing it, and here comes Connor now down the field, and he's going to take a tumble, and West Chicago's going to push it down the middle of the field now.
And now the Dukes are trying to come up with an answer here. I like this defense that they're playing much more towards the 30-yard line, if anything. You can see much more pressure being brought up there as there's a bunch of Dukes.
Steen's just going to poke that one out of bounds, and West Chicago will have a throw-in now. Here's the cross, and looking for a man. He's got one. It's a top-shelf snipe. West Chicago puts another one in the back of the net as Ochoa was just not able to get up there. They are now up 3-0.
Yeah, what a great strike there from West Chicago. Able to find the back of the net, like you said, Christian. And this team is definitely showing off that experience we were talking about before the game. And the Dukes still not able to respond. With 10 minutes left here in the first half, it is now 3-0.
West Chicago playing state championship level soccer, Luca. Absolutely just taking over. The Dukes haven't had an answer for it. As Graham Reedy's going to stop that one. Here comes Nazar. He's going to cross it. Here comes Joby now. A little bit of a run as Joby is now going to get tripped, and that's going to go off a West Chicago defender. As Miranda will throw this one in. And here come West Chicago down the field once again, making a run, and it's a little cross into the corner. And it's going to be poked out of bounds off a Duke. I was Oliver Connor coming all the way over from midfield to get that stop. So 8 minutes and 50 seconds remain in the first half, and it's been all Wildcats here early, as here's a steal, and it's brought right back to the Wildcats. The cross, and Ochoa's going to come up and make the save. He's looking to push it down the field, but now he's going to hold it back as he didn't have any options. He's going to punt it now up the middle.
Yeah, Ochoa just trying to stop and read for the offense here. The offense still wasn't on West Chicago's side of the field in time, so no play able to be generated there.
Here is the throw-in, and York will retain possession as Reedy is going to get it over to Connor. Connor trying to work his way around a defender, but is stolen once again. Now Reedy's going to fight for it back. Great job by him to retain possession as Joby's got it now. Here comes Connor. Connor makes a great move. And now they're just going to reset the possession. And Oliver Connor gets it back in the middle. He's going to pass it outside to Coates, Carlos, excuse me. And just a lot of back and forth here, Luca.
Yeah, for sure. As long as York's able to keep West Chicago in the midfield, I guess you could call that a strategy there. But, I mean, you'd obviously rather take points over that. But able to play some defense, keeping them in the middle, that can work too.
Yeah, they definitely need a goal to get back into this. They're down 3 goals right now in the first half, which is still very early. Great crossover, and now pushing it down the field. They've got numbers. And Steen's going to hustle all the way back. And their Dukes are going to get a throw in now. They got a substitution. Looks like they're going to go pull Aaron Joby. No, not Aaron Joby. Don't think anyone has left the field for York.
Looks like Danny Miranda's going over to the sideline right now.
Oh, yeah, there he is. And Carmi DeMelli will replace him, so they're going to shift formation. Thank you, Luca. Missed him. He's been in for the past few minutes, but he's now going to check out as Reedy's working on his defenders. Here's a shot on goal, but Ochoa is there to save it.
Christian, I'll tell you, if Ochoa was not in the goal tonight, this game would be a very different story. This first half itself would be a very different story. I mean, with the amount of these shots on goals, I mean, we would see an excessive amount of points because these have been great shots from West Chicago, but even greater defense from Ochoa.
Absolutely, Luca. That's a great point. As Ochoa's been almost perfect with the amount of saves, I'd say. He's let in 3, yeah, but 2 of them have been nearly impossible shots to save, and one of them was just a fantastic shot that he was just miscommunicated on. Steen finds DeMelli. DeMelli with the backwards header to Joby. Joby's now got a little bit of a run, and the Wildcats are there to stop it once again. So York's still yet to get one shot on goal. Steen hits it, and Ochoa's going to have to lay out, and he will. He's going to get back to Steen, who's making his run up the right side of the field. Now down the line to DeMelli. What a great ball. Can he hustle it down? He can, but it's going to be poked out of bounds by the Wildcats, and this is going to result in a throw-in. Steen throws it in. It's the backwards header, the rebound, and Reedy sends it through the uprights rather than through the net. He had a nice open shot. He just rushed it a little bit. Could have probably taken 1 or 2 touches before a shot on goal.
Good to see the Dukes at least get one shot attempt on the board there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a shot attempt, but a decent look, I guess. As West Chicago is just, talking to a few of the players before the game, they were very confident that they could come in here and hang around with the team, but West Chicago has done a fantastic job at just blowing past them, making better plays, and, holding on to the ball longer and making most of those opportunities they have. As here's a run, here's the shot, and it's going to be above the net. So 3 minutes and 9 seconds now remain here in the first half. We apologize for no scoreboard. There's 3 minutes left, and score is 0-3 in favor of West Chicago. Great save there from Carter. He was able to stop it before that ball got into the box, and another potential scoring opportunity. Lazar trying to chase him down. Crosses it. Can they get a shot on goal? No, they're going to swing it back out. And back to the Dukes is DeMelli. They got some numbers here. Can they make the right pass? Not in target for Joby. That's going to go out of bounds off the Wildcats, and the Dukes will now have it back. Connor launches a throw in here for Joby. It's going to be a little too long, and they're just going to kick that one out of bounds. So York will retain possession. Minute and 26 seconds remain here.
Yeah, you got to wonder what Coach Stopka is going to tell his squad when they, have this halftime break. This is definitely not how they wanted to start this game, and a 4-0 comeback is a hard mountain to come over.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 3-0, but Coach Stopka is definitely in the playoffs. He has been over the past few years, more the coaches that goes in the locker room the first round. Hey, we're winning. We're in great position right now, and he's going to have to give a halftime speech that has not given yet in his career in the playoffs for sure. And definitely a little bit of a switch up compared to what most fans are used to when watching York soccer. So we're in the final minute now. This one's going to go over to Connor, who makes a great move. Now chips it to Joby. That's going to be a little too long. And the goalie of the Wildcats is there to save it. So 30 seconds remain, and York just trying to get into the locker room at this point. Nazar finds another open Duke who's going to kick it out of bounds. That was Gio Obano, who's now trying to fight the ball back, and Carter is now just going to kick it back over the middle. And not really much going on, and that's going to bring the first half to a close. West Chicago has completely dominated the first half, 3-0. They lead. We're going to step aside for a quick halftime break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half. We apologize for the late start. Had some issues with just some stuff in the bleachers, and we're back, and West Chicago's got another scoring opportunity and almost another goal. Now joined by the side of me is Zach Silkaitis. Zach, say what's up.
What's up, everybody? Okay, the Dukes have been doing pretty poorly so far this game. They got to really step it up on their defense and offensively. Only one shot on goal the entire first half.
Not even sure if we could call that. I'm not even sure if we could call that a shot attempt. Well, yeah, only thing in the box, obviously, but it just was like
20, 30 feet above the goal. No real shots, nothing on net so far. The other goalie, we haven't even seen if he's been good or not so far because nothing has been shot on him.
Here's Cuckoo, and almost another goal, but Ochoa's there to save it. And it seems like every time Cuckoo is in, he always gets one shot on goal at least.
Yeah, Cuckoo doing a great job for the offense. He hasn't scored yet, but he's been able to get so many shots on goals. I mean, within the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, he had 4 shots on goal, which is unbelievable.
And here he is again with the shot on goal, and it's going to go out of bounds. So Cuckoo already, just as we mentioned him, just another strike at the net. A little too high.
Just a little bit. That one's kicked long by Ochoa, and that'll go out. As West Chicago is playing it pretty great defense so far this game as well. The goalie being a big factor. He's been coming up, playing aggressive, and he's been doing a great job.
Thank you for Zach Silkaitis stepping in for announcing for our Luca DeSanto, who's having some throat issues. Hopefully he's all right. He's had probably over 20 cough drops tonight, so we're praying for you, Luca.
Thank you.
You just said thank you, so.
West Chicago trying to fight with York right now, trying to keep it on York's half of the field.
And here comes Steen out of nowhere, intercepting the pass. Gonna push it over to DeMelli. He's gonna find Barriga. Barriga with the crossover to Joby. Joby just trying to draw the corner. Can he get it done? They're gonna say yes. So corner kick for York. Or excuse me, goal kick.
It's going to be another goal kick for them as the Dukes have another missed opportunity, and they're going to play it short and get it out the half right away. Dukes going to retain possession, and they're making a run for it. Getting inside the box, kicked into the middle, and it's going right to the goalie. It's going to be kicked out by West Chicago there.
Barreras Barrendo, or Banda Barrendos, just lets it go out of bounds there for York. They're going to throw it in, and he will get it in over to DeMelli. It's going to go off of O'Connor. And back to the Wildcats.
A little bit of slow start here this half. Not much happening, a little bit of back and forth. A couple shots from Cuckoo. As it's thrown in by West Chicago. They're just going to boot it upfield, and it's going to go right to Ochoa. And he's going to kick it, and it's going to go all the way to half field. And it appears York keeps it in, and they're making the run downfield, and it's going to go right to the keeper. Now West Chicago with the throw-in. As the ref said it went out. West Chicago trying to make a push. Graham Reedy trying to keep him in front of him. West Chicago pushing up. And it's given off right to the York defender. York trying to play it up. Giving right back to West Chicago. Cuckoo passes it back, making their way up, and deflected right back to the York player. And is booted upfield. York trying to make a run for it, and it's going to be kicked out by West Chicago.
So York looking to hang around a little bit after the shaky first half. Getting the ball down the field, but West Chicago's also had a few nice shot on goal attempts. And it's looking to make another one right here, making a decent run. Looking for the cross, and there it is to Cuckoo. Cuckoo making his way down the field on Steen. Here's the strike. And no, it's going to be stopped by Steen, so great defense there. I thought Cuckoo was going to strike it, Zach.
Yeah, Cuckoo doing a great job with the offense so far as he has been taking it upfield and getting past his defenders, blowing by them at times. Just really doing a great job throwing it upfield.
Yeah, he's a very aggressive player, as we've seen throughout the game, as Bowie's now going to tie Diego Ochoa's shoes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard with the gloves on.
Zach, do you ever have any of your teammates tie your shoes as a goalie?
Nah, I usually tie them pretty tight before each game.
So Chua is just going to absolutely boot this one down the field. And here comes West Chicago down the field. There's a cross to Cuckoo. And they're just going to boot that one out of bounds as Steen. Another opportunity for West Chicago.
Yeah, Duke's defense been having to kick it out a lot because players like Cuckoo and their offense have been really blowing by them and using their speed to get in front of them. And so the defense just keep having to kick it out because they can't really play it back, or else it's gonna be a one-on-one. And with players like Cuckoo, he's just blowing right by them.
So 31 minutes remain here, and the Wildcats still lead by 3. Bowie's going to come in here and try to keep this one with the Dukes, and he will take his time. Fires it back to Ochoa, who's going to fire it over to Barrigo, but it's going to go out of bounds.
Ochoa doing a great job at kicking the long ball. None of the York defenders or midfielders just there to help him out. As West Chicago is going to take the ball back, but they're going to call a foul on West Chicago as York tries to hurry it up. Only 30 minutes left in the game. They got to get something going here, Christian.
Indeed they do. Here comes Steen. West Chicago is going to push it down the field, looking to stop it, or the Dukes, and they will. But another Wildcat is there to clean it up. So they just love to keep little possessions alive, just seem to never go away.
Yeah, West Chicago being very dominant in offense right now, as another goal is kicked towards the net, and it's saved by Ochoa.
So Ochoa boots this one down the field. And calling for the ball, or the Dukes, they're going to throw it in. As the whistle's going to blow the play dead. As there's going to be a sub. I believe that's going to be Nazar replacing Reedy.
Yeah, Reedy has been doing a great job on varsity ever since been calling up. One of the leading goal scorers for York has 3 goals, and in his first appearance he had 2 goals. It's a great way to start your varsity on varsity.
Absolutely. Zach. As Demelli is going to cross this one into the box, and no shot on goal. They're going to keep it alive out as Will Carter hits it back to the Wildcats, and Now a little pop-up to the center of the field. As Bowie is going to find your defender, and now they're just going to go back and forth, and Connor has it once again. Makes a great move, and he's going to fire over to Banda Baranos, who's going to hit the sideline, and here comes DeMelli now trying to make a run, but the Wildcats cut him off, and that is going to be a goal kick.
DeMelli flashing his speed there, but he just wasn't fast enough to get the ball back in play. As the ball is kicked out again. I mean, Christian, a lot of the game has been the ball is just being kicked out of bounds. I mean, both teams have great speed, but the defense is doing a great job for West Chicago here in this game. So the Dukes have lots of lost opportunities, mainly because of their defense.
Very well said, Zach. Yeah, I mean, it seems that has been the way, but York is definitely going to need to get something going here, Zach. Being down 3 with 27 minutes left, maybe starting to go to some desperation, some would say. Not pulling the goalie yet, but definitely want to try to start making some moves, changing up the game plan. That's going to be a key part if they're going to want to make a comeback here, as this one's going to be blown dead again. Not sure what they have. It's just going to be a re-goal kick.
Yeah, Christian, I mean, like you were saying, they got to start pushing up Ochoa towards the 40 when they get the ball up. I mean, they got to keep putting on the pressure on offense. Playing safe right now is not going to help them win. Defense for them is not going to win them this game. They got to really pursue DeMille up in the top left corner. I mean, his speed is going to be a big factor for the Dukes to score here.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Using guys like DeMelli, O'Connor, and Joby, they have tremendous speed, Zach. And if they can get them going like they're going to try to here with Joby, but they're going to blow this one off sides. Little things like that, that's what West Chicago's done so well. They've utilized their players, their strikers, their forward speed, and that's why they're up 3-0. But York cannot win with that defensive play style that they've been using all year, especially when your season's on the line.
Yeah, Christian. The Dukes not doing a great job on offense. Have we seen them struggle with a lot this season? I mean, they haven't scored more than 3 goals in a game. And I know last year they had a game where they scored 6 goals. So when you're not putting up good numbers on offense, even with a great defense, you're not going to succeed as a team.
Here's a throw-in from Carter. He's going to find DeMelli. And here come the Wildcats now, moving it down the field. The crossover to Cuckoo, who's working on his defender on Steen. Makes a great move. Here's the give and go. He's going to hold it. He megs a defender, and he's not going to be able to score, but that was a little nice move. And definitely a lot of talent out of Cuckoo.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. West Chicago was looking for the call. I mean, the player did go down, but that was just a clean play right there by the Duke defense.
Yeah, Zach, I'd argue that York has been West Chicago has been the more chippy team all night with a lot of slide tackles, a lot of contact. So now trying to sell it. So maybe showing that they are not only strong, but they can sell their acting skills too, as York has just not been able to be the better actor. And in soccer, if you want to get fouls, you're going to have to be an actor. Wouldn't you say, Zach?
Yeah, that's completely true. I mean, if you're not willing to go down and pretend you got an ankle sprain or something's wrong with your knee, then you're not going to get calls and you're not going to have the momentum going for offense. As the ball is kicked by West Chicago.
DeMelli working on his guys. There's a little bit of a handball there. No call, but he'll stay with the Wildcats. 24 minutes now remain. And that one's going to be a little turnover. One of the few turnovers you've seen for the Wildcats. That's going to be a handball. And now a card for arguing on number 4 of the Wildcats. That's going to be on Pedro Nicoe Rios. Argued with the handball and just was given a card instantly.
You know, Christian, right here is where this game is going to kind of be decided. 3 goals with 24 minutes. If they can get something right here, that'll be huge for the Duke offense.
Yeah, this is a potential turning point with a free kick from the 30-yard line. Demelli's going to cross it. And here's the header, but it's going to be out of bounds as Barriga was not able to put the shot on goal.
Yeah, I would say that kick was a little bit too far from Demelli right there. I mean, he trying to get it more towards the middle into the box, but he kind of just shot it way over. And now the Dukes, with only 23 minutes left. I don't want to say they need a miracle yet, but they just about do. 3 goals is very hard to get in 23 minutes.
And still the offensive pressure is just non-existent, so it's really going to be hard to get goals if you're not putting pressure, as you mentioned earlier, Zach.
Yep.
Just sticking with their game plan. I mean, in any sport, if you want to win and you're having a terrible first half, you got to adjust your game plan if it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of all year. I mean, their defense has been able to produce every single game, but a good defense without any offense is not going to win you anything. You got to be able to score 1, 2, 3 goals every single game you go out there.
Angel Ayer now working on the defense. He's going to find Connor, who's got a little bit of an opening. Back over to Connor. He's going to give it to Cam Coates. Finds Steen. Steen now gets absolutely nailed by Cuckoo. Cuckoo does play with a lot of contact, as Zach, you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Cuckoo being very aggressive on offense and on defense, trying to body his players with his big size and just trying to get them to turn the ball over.
Yes, here come the Wildcats down the field, looking to maybe put some insurance on the scoreboard. Only up 3, I should say, and that's a lot of goals, but definitely still due for a goal this half with all the shots they've had on target. And definitely would like one more goal to solidify this win for sure. I think the difference between 4 and 3 goals makes a huge impact. If York somehow came up with some kind of a miracle, I think having 4 rather than 3 is kind of like the last
nail in the coffin there.
Yeah, great way to say it. I would say the York defense has done a tremendous job in the second half, though. Still not letting up a goal to a very talented team, as they might right here, but they don't. Had me a little nervous there. Announcer's jinx, Zach.
Yeah, like you were saying, though, they have been doing a great job. Only 2-3 shots on net, which is a tremendous cutback from the first 4 you saw in the first 5 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. You said that their defense has been able... Earlier, you said their defense has been able to been great all season. They've been great at not allowing a lot of goals, a lot of shots on goal, and just letting up 1 to 2 goals a game. But without a good offense, it's nearly impossible to win games. And, you know, you've seen it here, still not letting up a goal this half. So you said it perfectly, Zach. They were able to come up with stops on defense in the second half. So great job making that adjustment. But the offense has just not been there up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest adjustment they've made on offense this year was when they called up Graham Reedy. That was the most goals they've probably scored, tied with at the point in the season, which was 3.
But then also losing Quinn Stratton is a big loss to the team with, you know, another one of the leading goal scorers.
Yeah, but if he was out here, we'd have 1 or 2 about right now, which would have been a great help.
Yeah, for you guys who are wondering, he actually went down against Lyons Township. He's now in crutches, and he's out for, I believe, 2 months, so he's got to sit on the sideline of his club soccer team. I was talking to him. He's a little upset about how he has to sit out for club soccer this winter, but his recovery shouldn't be too long. 2 months isn't horrible for as bad as an injury that he suffered.
Yeah, I mean, initially when he went down, I thought it was much worse, Christian. The way he was, like, in pain, you could just tell that it was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. As Barriga tries defender, and he's going to be picked off and taken the other way from the Wildcats. And Barriga's still fighting his defender, and Steen's going to chase this one down as the clock now hits 19 minutes and 35 seconds.
Duke's still chasing 3 goals. They still got to keep up the defense, but you got to put some more pressure on offense. They're still playing heavy defense right now. They got to get the through balls going.
As here comes Joby working down the middle of the field. Looking for the shot on goal. It's a little dump off to Demelli. And it's going to go back to the other side of the field as Ayer is trying to chase it down. And he will not be able to. And this is going to be a boot from the goalie up the middle and to the midfielder who's looking down the field. Steen's going to try to come over and pick this one off. But an even better pass, a little 1-2 punch. Now crosses it back up the middle. And you can see how fast they move. That little 1-2 pass, Zach.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of passing, executing passes, and getting the touches in midfield and upper field.
And on top of that, just staying patient with their shots on goal, really working for the ones they want instead of launching from farther out.
Yeah, totally.
There could have been multiple times, I'd say, where they could have launched from farther out rather than, staying patient and looking for their shot.
Yeah, long balls aren't always the way to go. I mean, getting the ball touched by every single player on the field is what you want to do. You want to be able to have good feet, good ball to feet from the players. Because if you don't have that, then you don't have nothing on the offense.
As this one's going to go back to the Wildcats. The shot on goal is just a little too high. And there's that patient shot they've been waiting for the past few minutes now. They finally get that look they've been waiting for, but it's just a little too high.
Choi did a great job right there coming up, knowing that the defender was right there. And he put his arms up, and he made himself look bigger, so he made him go over the net instead of trying to go around him. Great job by Choi.
Choi's put up a clean half up to this point with letting up 0 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say that like the first half wasn't.
2 of the goals were nearly impossible to save. They're both up top shelf bangers.
With the amount of saves he's had this season, it's just been immaculate. I mean, I'd say he's been doing even better than last year. It's just sometimes as a goalie you can't save every single shot.
Yeah, and now Ochoa and the offense trying to put some pressure on as Demelli just launches this one up to the sky. Once again, it's one of those plays where if you take one more touch rather than just booting it on the fly, you have a better shot on goal. Just a little rush there. Definitely an elite scoring opportunity that was.
Yeah, the Duke's been rushing their offense a little bit too much. I feel like they've been trying to get the long through balls instead of playing the short game.
We'll see if they make that adjustment here with 16 minutes remaining as Steen's going to take this and find Connor. As Nazar now moving it around, finds Ayer, who's going to give it back to Connor. And Carter now looking for something. Bowie now is going to cross this one, and it's going to find the West Chicago. And they are going to go out of bounds.
The Dukes really got to get something going now at this point. 16 minutes. Near impossible to score three goals in this amount of time, but it still is possible. We've seen it happen here before. Dukes last season have made a couple great comebacks.
Yeah, so they got to keep putting the pressure on and sticking to what they know, which is staying patient for the shot they want. Is maybe one right here as Carter's looking to get something going. He fires over, or excuse me, that's Nazar, who's going to turn it over. It's going to go back to the Wildcats, but however, they're staying with it on defense, and Nazar trying to get it back, but just was not able to retain possession. And the Wildcats are making a lot of noise. Their fans up 3 goals. They're saying, let's go Wildcats still. They want more.
Yeah, the Wildcats fans have been really loud this game. I mean, they've really been shaking the stands, Christian. I mean, you can feel it throughout the booth up here.
Here's the long ball shot on goal, and it's an absolute snipe! Are you kidding me? And there's that goal they've been waiting for.
And
Kung Thong
wow.
with another snipe. That's his second of the game. My goodness, that was from around the 30-yard line.
Another near impossible save for Choi right there. I mean, you can't really get that one. That was perfectly dotted in the top left, or top right corner of the box there.
With the final nail in the coffin, I believe Coach Stopka is going to send out all the seniors there to get their last few minutes of their season. As it looks like Reedy Barriga will check in as of right now, and it looks like Pepe will also look to check in.
Yeah, I mean, 4 goals. That's
now 3 of them were just insanely talented players, insanely talented shots. I mean, I don't think any goalie in this conference or this tournament, let alone, is going to be able to stop that if West Chicago continues to make shots like that.
Yeah, I mean, West Chicago can go pretty far in this tournament, showing the amount of amazing shots they've had so far. I mean, Ochoa, one of the best goalies probably in the conference, hasn't even been able to save those shots.
Here's a goal look for Demelli, but he is going to be sent down to the ground. Staying with it is Nazar. Nazar makes a cross. Now back over to Demelli. Ref calls them offsides, but they are not going to call it till now.
Don't know why they took so long to call that.
Yeah, the sideline referee had him for over 10 seconds. Probably just wanted to let them play. But that was another shot on goal look there. So I believe that is their 3rd or 4th of the game. Is now Reedy, Miranda, and company. All the seniors looking to check in and play their last few minutes of their career as York Dukes. A little disappointing to see them go out like this one, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, Miranda's been doing a great job for the team this year. I've seen him start multiple games and play a lot of minutes. He just didn't get out there today.
So Chris Sines to check in, Aaron Joby, Graham Reedy, Danny Miranda, as I mentioned. Also checking in is Roberto Barriga. So yeah, the full lineup of seniors. Practically.
Get some minutes in our last season here at York.
We'll see if they can come up with anything. The experienced guys on the field.
Hopefully they can score 1 goal here this game. Still very possible to score at least 1 or 2.
That's going to be out of bounds, and throwing it in is Jonah Jones. And he is going to get shoved out of bounds, but it will stay with the Dukes. And 12 minutes now remain. Jones is going to fire this one over the middle. And Connor is going to take control. He's going to send it over to Miranda, who's going to head it up to Giovanno. Now checking in. Another sub. This is going to be... Never mind. They're going to send him back to the bench. He took off his jersey and sold it to everybody. But here's the cross and a shot on goal potentially. Great save by Sines, and I believe they're going to get an offsides before that. So Cho steps up, helping out Sines. And Diego's going to want to go, and they're going to blow this dead. They're going to redo it.
Yeah, they got to be quick if they want to try and score a goal here.
Definitely don't want to go home empty-handed, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. Even 1 goal in their supposed last game would be amazing.
Bowie, great job stepping through there on defense. As Jones now looking for somebody. He's going to find Graham Reedy. Reedy over to Sines. He's going back to Jonah. And he's going to send it out of bounds, so this will stay with the Wildcats.
Duke's still got to put up a good defense here to stop any more goals from coming in. They've been doing fine. They've only let in 1 goal so far this half. Hopefully they can keep it at that.
And now the Wildcats just working on it, just trying to waste a little bit of time, but still in a good position to put some more points on the board before this game comes to a close. And Zach, what have the West Chicago Wildcats done to come up on top and dominate the York Dukes in this game so far? Probably going to end up sending the Dukes home empty-handed, but what have they done to assert their dominance tonight?
Their speed, like you said earlier in the game, Christian, their speed is the biggest factor they've had. Their offense and defense, they've been able to outrun every single York player. They've been able to get in front of them, and they've been able to get one-on-ones with Ochoa, and they didn't make every single shot, but that's not what you need. You just need to put in some amazing shots, and that's exactly what they did.
Absolutely, Zach. And with the way Ochoa's been playing, you'd think if you saw his stats, okay, this game's probably maybe 2-0 or 1-0 or 3-0, but they've actually let up 4 goals, not just because Ochoa's lacking talent. He's not lacking any talent at all. It's because some of the shots that the West Chicago Wildcats have made have just been nearly impossible to save. As me and Zach have mentioned multiple times, just lots of talent on their team. And we knew coming into this game that York was going to struggle with this matchup and have to play nearly a perfect game to stick around with this team and potentially force a win to get into the next round. It has been nearly impossible with the way the Wildcats have been playing tonight, though.
Yeah, I mean, with how many shots the Wildcats took tonight, I mean, you're expecting them to score this many goals. 4 shots in the first 5 minutes. They had about 12 shots at half. I mean, it's crazy to think how many shots they had. And on top of that, the Dukes they have only had about 1-2, if you want to count the above goal shot.
As here's a run on goal. Here's the shot, and it's in. The West Chicago Wildcats put another nail in the coffin as the whole team is going to come down from the bench and celebrate, making it 5-0. And another moment where York has struggled on transition defense, just not able to get back in time.
Yeah, the Dukes just lacking no motivation whatsoever going into that, leading up to that goal that just happened. I mean, they're playing lazy and they're playing slow. I mean, you don't want them to put any more goals in the net, especially when it's a blowout, and they just let that happen again with sloppy defense.
It's a very good way to say it, as there's now 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first round of the playoffs where the West Chicago Wildcats look to advance. As here's going to be a through ball over to Miranda, who's looking to cross it. And he will, but it's going to go off a West Chicago defender. He stays with it. Now looking to cross again, but he's going to go out of bounds. And that's going to be a goal kick. Now Choa's going to go back to the end of the net. He was playing up, and now it looks like he's just going to take off his gloves. And they're going to replace him. And that is going to be Diego Ochoa's last game as a York Duke. He will check out for the rest of his life in this jersey. Fortunately, a sad way to go out with, you know, how well he's been for this program over the past 4 years. And that will wrap up his career as a York Duke. As here's a shot on goal from Connor. Almost got it to nip in, but it was saved by the Wildcats.
Nicholson entering the game as keeper for Cho's replacement. One of his first appearances.
You're going to see a good amount of Nicholson next year on varsity, I'd assume. Alongside maybe Zach Silkaitis, who's on the mic with us right now.
Yes.
As here's a shot on goal from Jones, and the field goal is good. Puts it right through the uprights. Not sure that was the goal he wanted to go through there, but Steen now over to Reedy, who's going to find Connor, looking for a shot on goal. Over to Signs, but that pass is a little too long, and it's going to go out of bounds. So York doesn't get any points for that extra point from Jonah Jones.
Just a little bit too high, but that's okay. The Dukes took another shot on goal. That was their second. Can't really do much when the offense isn't producing. They're trying, but the Wildcats' defense has been so dominant here, alongside their offense.
And another look to score, as here's the cross, and the shot on goal is going to be not yet. It was looking like it was going to happen there, but he held on to it. Probably the coach yelling at him not to shoot on the goalie after what we've seen. 5 goals, it's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah, especially since he's a junior. He hasn't had much playing time. They don't want to add on any more to the blowout game already. As the Wildcats are pursuing another goal. All gas, no brakes mentality.
And no quitting this Wildcats team. They just want to keep going. As they split the defenders, Jonah Jones trying to poke it away, and he will. But the Wildcats get it back, and Joby's coming out of nowhere. He takes a tumble onto the deck. And now just trying to weave the ball through the field, and Miranda's going to kick that off a Wildcat defender.
With the last 5 minutes of this game, both teams shouldn't try and play any lazy offense or defense. Just because you're losing or just because you're winning by so much doesn't mean you should just give up. You still got to have the winning or losing mentality to keep going as a team.
That's a great way to put it, Zach. And here's the throw-in as this one's going to get past Connor. And now another cross. But Nicholson there to pick it up. Now bouncing it like a basketball.
Just going to play a short game here. No reason
to
kick it up.
Nice little move there. As Reedy now making his way down the field, looking for the cross, and he has it to Connor. Connor now back to Joby. Joby is going to be stopped by a West Chicago defender, and Reedy retains possession. Back to the Wildcats, who are going to be stopped once again. And just going back to the patient offense look. Now the clock down to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. There's a slide from Jose Rivera Colonche.
Not much happening in the last couple minutes of the game. Just a little bit of back and forth from both teams.
As Signs gets absolutely thrown down to the ground. That was more of a football tackle than a soccer tackle there, Zach.
Yeah, he took that, though, and he got right back up. Doesn't look like he's hurt at all, which is good.
As here's the chip to Miranda. And not sure where that was going as it goes off the defender. It's now 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. And that's probably going to wrap up the York Duke season, Zach. So overall, how would you say the success of the season was? If you had to give it a grade from A through F, what would you say the season came down to?
Overall, I'd probably say a C+. The last 2 seasons, they made it really far in the playoffs. And this season, their defense really executed for them, making them be competitors against a lot of other teams. Their offense just really couldn't put it together this year.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it. Their defense has just been very good up to this point tonight, where they've struggled at times, but I'd say that's a great way to describe the season. As Reedy now, working on his defender, he finds Rivera Colche, and that's going to go out of bounds.
Just a minute and 15 left here in the game. Don't think no goals will happen. But the Dukes still have one last opportunity right here. The throw-in.
And Science is going to let this one go up. Reedy goes up and tries to get it. Ayer now working on it. It's kicked out of bounds. It's now the final of the season for York. Here's the shot on goal, but it's going to be out of bounds.
Well, they got another shot off, which is good. It wasn't too close, but they're going to get a corner kickoff with 20 seconds left. Hopefully they can score a goal and not leave empty-handed.
Biggest moment of the game for York right now, as this one's just going to be way over the head, and that's going to bring this game to a close as the final seconds will come off the clock. The York Dukes are going to fall to the West Chicago Wildcats in the first round of the playoffs. This will wrap up the season for the York Dukes, making them a first-round exit. And, Zach, what do the Wildcats do tonight to get this one done?
Oh, the offense. 5-0 is just crazy to think about in soccer terms. 5 goals is a lot of goals. And thank you guys so much for watching York Sports Network. I'm Zach Silkaitis, alongside me Christian McQuade and Luca DeSanto and Ryan Brownlie doing the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, thank you to all who tuned in tonight. This is going to be my final farewell for York Soccer. I've been Christian McQuade. Thank you for tuning in. And Christian McQuade signing off finally for York Soccer. Good night, everyone.